Bom, contra Under Thieves, sinto que vai ser um jogo muito difícil também. Time que taticamente também joga muito coletivo.
I'm not too worried. We played Crew before. We had a close series against them. They're a heavy contact team, it feels like. They have definitely some good shooters, but we do as well. I feel like we have insane shooters on our team, and we can be the best in the world.
We fight. And now we try to walk in, the lineup coming through. And fakes to fakes, inserting players moving forward inside the site now for G2. My gosh. That's 2 flawlesses in a row now for 100 Thieves, and they're rolling in the bank.
Bom, esse próximo jogo é muito importante em vários sentidos, não só pra gente, tanto pra Crew também, para os jogadores, pra Crew, pra torcida e pro Champions. Eu quero viajar, faz tempo que eu não viajo também, e a gente vai com tudo e vamos buscar a vaga.
He has to stick it. There's not a lot of time here. Moose can go aggressive. Is he going to be able to take this? It's already got to happen. It's going to be so close. Oh my gosh! Point 1.
And it all comes down to this. There's one more slot available for Champion Soul. Who's gonna take it? Is it gonna be Crew Visa or will it be 100 Thieves? Welcome back everyone to day 3 of VCT Americas Stage 2 playoffs. It's time for our lower bracket semifinal. I'm Golden Boy. You got Ender yet again. And joining us from the Nether Realm, it is Wyatt, or as I like to call GB and his 2 very tall friends. Yeah, right, thank you guys.
The Nether Realm.
Yeah.
The green room.
the green. How was the green room?
I mean, it was nice. I had some Kung Pao chicken.
Yeah.
Is it green?
No.
Good smoothie.
Contrary to popular belief, not green. In any case, though, let's go ahead and talk about Crew first, because this is a squad that we were saying, hey, could Crew go on a run? Well, it turns out may not be the case, because it kind of got flattened a little bit by Leviathan when we saw them play earlier on. That was not the Crew that we were hoping to see that came out of that C9 game.
No, this was a sloppy-looking Crew, quite frankly. They got absolutely put down by Leviathan.
They got outclassed.
Yeah, and it's sad to see because this team was so strong back at the start of the year, but like it just seemed like a complete collapse on a fundamental level yesterday.
I was all the way on the Crew train for all of Stage 1. Was so impressed by this team. They've had their moments in Stage 2, but that was the lowest of low points for them all year against Lev.
And how could you not be enthusiastic about this team? They were, what, 5-1, I think?
They looked insane. They looked insane.
They looked utterly incredible.
All of their players were firing on all cylinders. Their game plans were simple but incredibly effective.
But then Stage 1 playoffs happened. And then things started to see things cascade poorly in their favor. And the big question is this a team that is underperforming right now? Or is this a team that ran into an insane Leviathan that day, right? And I think most people would probably say underperforming.
I would say both can be true. Both literally are true. This is a Crew that it looks like a shell of the former team that was 5-1, right? Up against Leviathan that at that point had not dropped a map all stage. So to me, it was like the ugliest matchup that you could have possibly gotten because it was 2 completely different extremes that, you know, ran into each other.
Yeah, I totally agree. But that being said, this is still a Crew that is not as good as the one we saw in Stage 1 at the most pivotal time in the year for them.
Teams are peaking right now.
A recent roster move. They've had to make a lot of adjustments.
Not just a roster move. They dropped their IGL 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the position that they find themselves in. But let's actually go ahead and hear from the Crew side. We got Elizabeth standing by.
Now, Shai, Crew has made every single VALORANT Champions event, and now your team is on the cusp of not making it for the first time. Is there any pressure? How is the team feeling?
La verdad es que no sentimos presión, ya que Crew siempre está como se le conoce, que cuando está al borde de la muerte es donde mejor juega. Ya estamos acostumbrados nosotros como a estar en ese límite y siento que va a salir una muy buena versión hoy de nosotros.
The truth is that we don't feel any pressure. Crew is known for every time we're in the cusp of losing. That's when we see the best version. So I think today's going to be a very good version of us.
Well, something I want to ask you specifically about last match was when I talked to Adam, he said you guys really struggled with pacing. Is that something that we have addressed or is an ongoing issue?
En la partida anterior, una de las cosas que dijo Atom era que estaban como que tenían problemas con encontrar ritmo. ¿Ya solucionaron ese problema o es algo que siguen trabajando?
O sea, yo creo que a todo el equipo le pasa que les cuesta como arrancar a veces, entrar en el flow del stage. Y nada, obviamente tenemos esas dificultades, pero hoy, la verdad es que hoy siento al equipo mejor que nunca y siento que vamos a entrar desde inicio a fin de la partida a ganarlo, a arrebatarlo literalmente.
The truth is that for the whole team, it is true that we struggle towards the beginning, and it's something that's happened before. But for today, I feel like the team is feeling better than ever, so we're going to go out from the beginning to end and give our best version.
Best of luck today.
Well, at this point, you got no other choice there, Shai. It's either you give us your best version or your season comes to an end here today. And one of the changes that they made, we were talking about the changes, MTA came into the team a week before playoffs. So, like, how do we feel like he has contributed to this roster in that short time? What kind of impact can he possibly have?
It's a crazy switch up from them very late in the season. MTA played with them in Kickoff, pretty much played just KO. Before that was a Duelist in LATAM, an upcoming player that they're trying to mold into a flex player now. But in Stage 2, looking at the numbers in some of those first games where he's now playing Sova, Viper, for instance, it was like he had 10 rounds of Viper played professionally. I mean, that's not possible because that's not a full game, but it was like 21 rounds of Viper professionally going into a match in Stage 2. Rejoining the team is crazy. It put a lot of pressure on this guy, a lot of expectation.
Yeah, you can even see, right? Like how much they had put into him in that, or how much he was doing in that Duelist side, but now he's having to readjust things.
Yeah, and it's because he's not coming into the team to be the main initiator for them, right? Like Heat is, you know, playing the KO and all that other stuff on other maps. It's odd because I thought MTA was actually pretty excellent during Kickoff individually. I thought he had some really good moments for himself. But
I believe it was an injury, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it was.
Injury related.
What I was saying is that it's hard to see him on these other roles because I don't think he's had that same level of impact, which I thought was very high.
Yeah, I remember Coach Adams saying as well, like, all right, like, kind of lay off a little bit. Like, he's picking up a lot of new roles. This is a tough adjustment for him, but it's like, y'all made the adjustment this late in the game. And that was a few weeks ago that I'm speaking about, by the way. That was maybe like week 2 of Stage 2.
Yeah, right around the corner. I mean,
the season is about to end, GB.
We're almost done. We're almost
this
done
game.
Here.
It's do or die.
That's where things get really scary, man. It really does. But let's go ahead and move on to their opponents, the Thieves, as we get ready for this one. Now, this is a squad that I think you can look at it and say maybe they're in trouble. Maybe something's going wrong here because they won't be able to bank on their championship points either. So they got to win out here. They have no other choice. Victory is their only option.
Yeah, we were just taking a look at the map pool up behind us, and one thing I really want to point out with that is the fact that Breeze and Split, the two maps rotated out. Breeze, they had a 100% win rate on this year. Split, they were 5-3 on. And with their bind falling off, like, what is their map pool? Is it Abyss?
Yeah, I mean, they chose Abyss for themselves and, of course, got dealt with by G2's.
Do we think we get Abyss again?
The thing is, I don't think Abyss is a bad map for them necessarily. I do think they're running into a comp that they probably do not have any scrims going up against.
Yeah.
So that one, I give a little bit benefit of the doubt to them to have a second rep on that going forward. But the point still stands that look at the far right corner of your screen, Breeze and Split gone is rough.
And over there, Bind 8-6, only a 57% win rate on the map that they were a month ago touted as being the best team in the world on. It's tanked because they've lost it 4 times in a row now. Everyone has figured them out. They haven't adapted to their opponents' adaptations to them. So this kind of looking like a jumbled mess, except for Ascent.
I do find it funny. It's like, that was their best map in the world. Then everyone figured it out. Then it stopped being the best map for them. They thought they had it all figured out, but it turns out when you have so much material, so much tape to go off of, and then on top of that, you lose maps that are
you can stick a lot of things together with that much.
Yeah, and yes, because of tape. You had to get the tape reference there. Well done.
He loves it. He loves it, folks. My biggest fan.
Elizabeth, just save us. Take it away.
Now, Asuna, you're now fighting for your chance to go back to Champions because you've been to Champions previously with another version of 100 Thieves. How do you feel this team, this version of 100 Thieves, compares to that version of 100 Thieves?
I mean, I guess we're better, but it really depends on if we show up. And as long as we do that, then we'll always be better than the old 100 Thieves. And I think we have a lot more ideas on this team. We calm a lot better. And overall, we're just a better team than the one we were in 2022. We just had a really good peak form, but right now we're still trying to get to like that form. But you know, G2 had a really good day yesterday, so yeah.
Something else I want to ask you is, how do you feel the strength of your map pool is now?
I mean, it's good. I feel like we're really confident on every map. As long as we, you know, just start off warm, we'll, yeah, be really good. I don't think we're worried at all about it, and yeah.
I do want to press on that a little bit because you did lose your Breeze, like the iconic 100 Thieves Breeze, and we do have Abyss now in here. Does that like by default make it weaker, or do you not feel like that is a true statement?
No, I don't think we ever thought of Breeze as a good map for us. I think it's nothing to do with the map pool changing. We just ended up losing a couple of bind games. That's the only thing that's really changed. But when you're playing good teams and you lose, like by default, your map pool will seem worse. It's nothing to do with like, you know, you being bad at the map. It's just in general how like the game goes. Like if you're losing every game, then you're gonna end up having, you know, maps that you lost on. Yeah. It's not like your map pool is bad or anything. It's just you need to work on the mistakes that you have.
Best of luck today.
We ran the numbers, but he's like, nah. I'm good. We're good. And hey, I'd want that. I'd want that confidence. You know, I would like him to just continue to have that into the server as well, because they're going to need that today.
But it's also not wrong. Like he's been playing with teams, like they know how scrims have been going and all those things. I think it's a similar sentiment to how I look at their Abyss, right? Where it's like, yeah, they're 0-1, but that's still not like, it's too early to call that that's a bad map just because they lost the first time.
And it was against G2, which is giving credence, I think, to his point. But where that detracts is when they're dropping these maps to Furia early on in stage 2. That is the issue.
You're right.
Yeah, that's the problem. Losing map to G2 in their current form, okay, fine. But you know,
and of
tumultuous stage for them, obviously.
Now here's the other thing, though, right? Like, continuing the conversation about the map pool, and one player in particular, Cryo, because we have been seeing Cryo really, you know, there are moments where he's an absolutely brilliant tier 1, like best in the world at some points, and then there are other times where he's not really fitting into the mold there. Do you feel like they need to lean more into the jet maps? Maybe give Cryo a little bit more of that fighting chance, or not?
I don't think it's necessarily a map thing, because this guy's also just dropping like the most insane numbers on Brimstone too. I would say the past few weeks, rather, he's been performing absolutely lights out. I think he has really stepped up in a big way, especially on those jet maps like you mentioned.
Yeah, I could certainly see. Well, I mean, not even what I could see. It's literally just true. They are trying to get to Ascent. Yeah. So on their last series, Ascent was banned by G2. They previously picked into it. They want to go to the map where Cryo's op can dominate.
Yep. Yeah, they want to give him as much of a fighting chance here, but he is going to be running into Kesnet, though, right? Which is always, we, of course, always praise Kesnet for how consistent he is. But I will say, though, these last few, I mean, even yesterday, he was not really nowhere to be found in that series.
Yeah, yesterday was
then again, the whole crew.
No player was to be found in that series.
We got to see his Neon. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, Kesnet, he is somehow, I think, honestly, kind of, in a way, underrated on the global scale, because his team just never makes it deep enough for his name to be thrown into the conversations that he might actually deserve to be in. And, you know, when it comes to Duelist head-to-heads, pretty much this entire year, the only guy that was ahead of him in numbers was Icebox, maybe a couple times Oxy, but he's up there with the best.
I would say I don't think anyone can find the, like, get round-changing plays that on attack like Kesnet can as a duelist, like especially like on a map like Ascent or anything where he's working into mid. Like when crew are playing slower rounds, he is a guy that isn't even asking for support, but will just find a pick or find a lurk time to get deep towards an enemy spawn and completely control the pace of the round.
And by the way, this is a guy who's been doing that for 4 years straight.
That's his
and
thing.
Is out of a lot of those top player conversations just because the team hasn't made it deep enough yet.
Yeah, well, look, folks, this is it. I mean, do or die. You win here, you move on to Seoul, you lose, you're out. Your season's done. Let's send it over to the stage to get this last match of the day started.
Riot Games Arena, it's time for this do or die elimination match. A spot at Champion Seoul is on the line. Give it up for your 100 Thieves!
We work hard then play. Work hard, work hard. We work hard, work hard then play hard. We work hard then play. Stand up, let me see you move. Stand up, then play. Stand up, let me see you move. Stand up, let me see you move. Oh yeah.
This is it. One spot left for grabs in Champions Seoul, and it's going to be one of these two teams to nab it for the Americas region. And look, Bucio's doing pull-ups. He's been climbing. He's feeling it. But seriously, what the hell is that?
Look, all I'm going to say is I thought Crew were the underdogs, but they've got the sixth man. They're bringing out the gator.
They got the inflatable pool gator, and I'm all about it, baby. As soon as you're done, you win this, you go to the local community pool and just enjoy a sip of water in that thing.
Yeah, a sip of water, to be clear.
Yeah, a sip of water. Yeah, or Red Bull.
Asuna is so unamused by the inflatable gator.
I mean, it's intimidating. That being said, though, this is, look, jokes aside in that instance, let's not forget, one spot. Whoever wins this is going to lock in that final spot for the Americas region. And here are your series layout. You got Icebox, Lotus, and if necessary, we take a trip over to Ascent.
Crew get rid of Bind in this case, which we were discussing how tumultuous that map has been for 100 Thieves in Stage 2, despite it being their best previously. So they're going to take things to Icebox, where I have flashes in my mind of Cryo offing towards B on defense, Bang, anchoring absolutely nuts on the Viper on this map. Locks down that site.
And the thing is, Crew need to 2-0 this series, in my mind, because if not,
you get to Ascent.
We're going to Ascent.
You get into Ascent, and look, I mean, not to be that guy, but Cryo's going to cook on that one if you're not careful. You put him in a big game situation like that, I have no doubt in my mind he'll show up.
Look, it's a good map for Kesnet too,
it is.
I won't say it's 100%, but it would be tough.
You're just giving him an opening there.
Yeah.
Big opening there. All right, well, let's go ahead and see what we're going to get for this Icebox Agent Select. Shouldn't expect anything too crazy here. We're going to get that, that Gecko and Viper combination that we're seeing here from 100 Thieves. We'll see, of course, what we get over on Crew.
Yep, just the standard from 100 Thieves. And on the opposite side for Crew, nothing too crazy either.
Same
just
there.
Your regular stuff on Icebox.
Yeah, thing to look out for is on defense, 100 Thieves are always saving 400 creds on Cryo in pistol rounds, so even if they lose 2 rounds and no kills, he always has that round 3 off.
Well, we've got ourselves a high-stakes elimination match and 2 casters that have incredible aura. It's Vantilli and Riv.
Thank you, GB. I like it. At least somehow we have more aura than Brennan's Sideshow this morning, but at least now, Riv, we're going into this do or die. The last spot for champs is now up for grabs between 100 Thieves and Crew, but there's no more chances. There's no more saving grace. There's no circuit points that's going to save you. Everything is determined here, and you need a win to go through.
And Crew look like they have to bring out all the stops here. They can just do no wrong throughout this game. If they do, I feel like 100 Thieves takes it away. We heard Adam recently saying, we've turned into the sheep. We're not aggressive enough, and that is our problem. He almost says it in every between map, is that the pace. If Crew can set the pace, nobody can stay with him, and it does seem like that. We hear the desk talking about Kesnet. He's going to have to put up a show with the rest of the squad. Same thing for 100 Thieves, though. Suffering a loss just recently. Puts them down here in this bracket, and G2 just kind of ran circles around 100 Thieves right here. So we see this pistol round coming through, starting a little slow towards B. And it's up to 100 Thieves as well to kind of create their pace. Nobody can get stuck playing the other team's game here in this match.
If anything, the aggression definitely has to come out from Crew. They have to come out swinging with a lot of confidence, leaving this through against 100 Thieves when they lost against Leviathan 2-13 in the last bout, the last time that Crew played on this map of Icebox. And for the Thieves, I mean, it makes sense. It's a perma-ban that they have to leave Bind through. So for 100 Thieves, they pretty much have the opportunity of winning this first map. His first contact is here towards green. Everything's stopped for now, but a triple swing out towards yellow allows Crew to score first, at least in the round.
Yeah, good chip onto Melzer, but you see Crew moving together. Nice collective as they go now through mid to check. You're gonna have one more rotate through spawn, and Kesnet, eyes and ears on A, is gonna be able to make this call.
Dash has now been used. It's trying to re-swing to stop the plant, but cannot get the wingman down, and on top of that loses his life. This is a plant now for the Thieves. On the top of the A tower, stop with the spray, but it's going back and forth. The flood back retake for Crew. Heat fighting on the top of the tower. That's now a disadvantage. EU, once again, already in the first round, has to go in a clutch.
Low health everywhere here. And it's going to be painful for EU. Sees one. Oh my god, that's the hit.
Shotgun hits him. There's 10 seconds left. He has to move it and try to pick it up. But now both enemies are wounded. Swing it through towards the back. Oh, you will score that frag and get the Red Bull clutch and the pistol for the Thieves.
There's like 3 bullets, but both of them were shot dancing it out there. Oh my god, that's the pressure we get out of the pistol round. We're ready for this series. EU does it again to come up with these clutches. So strong at the end of the rounds. You'll see that name over and over again. He does it on the fade, he does it on the Sova. It just plays the utility from the initiator so well in these clutch moments, and it always seems like he has a bit left too to offer. 100 Thieves get in the site with still all that util up, so EU can use it to make sure they collect the round. Here in the second one, it's exactly the kind of pace 100 Thieves wanted. They kind of caught Kesnet off guard as he left site, so you can see they caught Crew off guard. They'll be ready for the next one here. Marshall rotating around the map for Kesnet is strong site A here for Crew.
Yeah, and it was a fast tempo for 100 Thieves to start. Initiator utility on both sides of the A nest just prevent Crew from picking up the orb on the A site, which maybe could give him an advantage in the later rounds. But at least they have a stack. 4 players here for Crew towards this A site. Already a dash dispense though. Looks like they thought the Reed was going to be rotating back towards this B site, and it gives an advantage for 100 Thieves to move in, go for the plant. There's the wingman plant on top of that.
Oof, Cryo stacking up some Blade Storm. That'll feel good. Get him going. It's kind of searching for a kill too as they look around for Melzer here, bringing the frenzy. So pretty good money. Kesnet actually purchasing in here, so he'll be a little bit lower coming into the next round. Ooh, we do see the full save since he had a Marshall here. And it's just a few more as EU ult point, but death is now Cryo tries his hand.
It's frenzy close range. Oh, this is still pretty good, yeah. That's gonna melt down Cryo. What the hell? Lucio. Okay, Vandal now picked up. They have to hunt it down now just to run that clock down. Bang! Finally takes Melzer down to his knees. They'll salvage the weapon, but that's some great damage on Melzer.
Get absolutely destroyed by Melzer's frenzy. They're so happy to have done that much damage coming out of the round. We'll see what the buys are. Low armor there. Yeah, 100 Thieves is gonna easily try to go back into this with having a few other rifles. So Heat's not too worse for the wear from his buy previously on the Marshall. And man, putting that glitch pop to work. Nicely done. So how can they get this next round from the defensive side? Still going to focus on Kesnet in his rotations. Is one of the big ones here for Crew. Has been a lot of the focus towards this B area.
There's pressure on both ends. Defensive side for Crew pushing out towards A. 100 Thieves fighting for B main control. They've done so to start.
Yep.
But Kesnet, once again, you needed him to continue to initiate for these first blood attempts. Wins it against Cryo. It's now Aldrone pushing him forward and pushing him back as he gets pinged out.
And options across the map too. They still have A being encroached into right now. They pulled turret back, or turret was just destroyed by Shy there in mid. But this lurk up by Boostio. Still making it happen from series to series.
Very important here for MTA, a player that's never played against 100 Thieves coming back here into the roster for Crew.
Great point.
Aldrone is going to spot him, so great utility being utilized, and now they understand that Busio is inserted inside this A site, in the pivot for 100 Thieves, and the attempt will be for a plant within this site, but Busio is still holding his ground for a bit. There's that double drop here from Shy and Heat, covering up that site. Shy also coming in from the screens again for a second one in the round. And EU, at this point, will not try to use any Hunter's Fury. Hasn't even been planted, that spike inside the A site. This might be a save towards the end, and this is a great call for 100 Thieves and a great play for Crew, thanks to, again, that 3 kills that Melzer got with that frenzy in that previous round. It really nullified the economy here for 100 Thieves. This wasn't pretty much a bonus for the attack side. It was a full gun round.
Exactly. Having to buy right back into it, which you see quite a bit in the Americas.
10 seconds left.
Teams just kind of feel like they can go for the fight, have a little bit of money, feel like the low armor buy is okay, and will stave off whatever happens in the next few rounds with low economy. It's a choice, that's for sure. 2-1 here. As that one goes to Crew. Nicely done on the reaction to what would happen over at B. They didn't bite too much on what 100 Thieves was trying to put down. And like you said, MTA having the wherewithal to say, you know, we are against 100 Thieves. if they haven't hit the site yet, Boostio's got to be being a rat somewhere, and they find him with the drone almost instantly to make sure they can adapt to that defensive post plant. All right, walls up, B start again. Pretty much the same thing here for the side 100 Thieves, as they do have a little bit of money to still buy back in, with low armor being a bit of their purchase last time. So flexing this money. But now we have some 100 credits, 150, 450. This is when it starts to matter, and the economy being low.
And that's where the Vandal mattered that EU saved in that previous round to allow for rifles to come in. If not, that's another, maybe only 3 with 2 stingers. But yet, the pressure from 100 Thieves, again, the game plan, trying to work towards this B main. A little bit slower than before, though. Trying to see if there was any knife that was going to come in early towards Garage. It was used towards the A side from Heat. There comes that push now at that minute mark. Really nobody contesting on either sides, and very similar plan. Look at the A side already. Boostio's trying to engage, trying to initiate, move slowly towards this A side.
So we give Dart back. They've waited long enough. I mean, really haven't gained any space on the map. Mid's full watch right now by Shy. They have the ability to get out and protect Melzer here for a moment. And that Killjoy utility is ready to deny plant. So the more 100 Thieves wait, the harder this is going to be right here. They don't have an instant plant, and they're going to have to fish for Wingman if that's going to be the molly death. This does not look good.
There's a change of play. We have VU already going towards the A side, throwing a recon and sell a fake. And Boostio goes for the lurk in mid instead to break the alarm bot. Doesn't really pull out any defenders from Crew, though they still have a lot of players behind this wall as Kesnit swings out for the first blood. Yet 100 Thieves still mid inside this B side with 13 seconds left. Kesnit still trying to anchor back towards B. There's that fight from Boostio that pays off in the end, and MTA trades it back. Shark Dart's now raining down. It does get the contact onto Cryo, but no kill. Heavily damaged, but EU's there for the save. It prevents Cryo from falling down. It allows 100 Thieves to get 3.
100 Thieves knew that was going to be messy. The molly was already going off, but Asuna had to throw Wingman into it, so it wasn't going to plant in the first place. They just had to go through the motions. They had to get everybody in sight, and at that point, Vans, you know you're overpowering the other team by numbers. 100 Thieves played it very close to the wire there, but knew they would be stronger as a team. It gets a little sketchy, but they pull around in their favor. 3 ults there for 100 Thieves now. See if they try to pull something like that again, as Crew has to worry down to the last second of each round. No, Cryo starts them off immediately as MTA pushes.
The amount of times that they try to throw this knife towards the A side, 100 Thieves avoids it and then starts moving in right away, punishing the players, taking control of the pipes, and that's a huge player down here for Crew. That's no Sova utility to attempt for the retake. So they have to play within the site now for Crew. Doubling up towards the back at Dice. Still playing a buddy system on that side. Perfect for one trade, but wall bent by EU. A side now open, only Shy is alone towards the back. Hit by the Thrash, easy kill for Cryo. And this is gonna render difficult for Melzer once again. This time at least has a rifle to work with. Wingman goes for the plant. And all the players, they know they can play within the site. Play together, now spotted by the Dizzy. And this might be here just a call for the save for Melzer in the end. Seeing that nobody peeks out at the very beginning, no punishment that he could do. Now time is against him, and yes, indeed. The sun to fall back, and that's 100 Thieves with a clean take towards the end.
Yeah. You could even have Boostio Hunt here. I mean, he's on the Grand. Everybody else is actually kind of broke, so don't have Boostio Hunt. The alt orb isn't worth it. They can easily grab one next round, and a nice play here by 100 Thieves, securing with ults the Thrash through the site. Little parkour over Nest and 410 just to get Shy, who was not expecting that to be on the top level. Let's see all the tricks that 100 Thieves can pull here. So right to a round, right after extending the round all the way to the last few seconds, they go for a pretty fast hit towards A. So really changing the pace back and forth on what Crew has been able to see. And again, haven't gone mid yet for 100 Thieves here, so Crew still has to be wary of that lurk, as 100 Thieves are finding success at the sites already.
Yeah. The great thing for 100 Thieves throughout this battle so far against Crew is that they kept the economy very low for Crew in these gun rounds that Kesnit cannot initiate with an operator. And when you're banking a lot on Sova utility, on the KO knife, and you're trying to push on the non-info that you're getting, you think it's safe and getting punished. So I'm pretty sure they want to get this off of ASAP. so they don't get caught off guard once again by 100 Thieves avoiding this initial utility.
I'm really liking the Gecko use for right side clear at B long instead of trying to drone garage and get in there. Nicely done. So they still have the drone as they go to the right side. More util to clear all these close spots and just get crew out of these crevices.
100 Thieves are not even afraid to get pinged by the recon dart thrown by MTA. They know they have the power of weapons. They know they have the power of cryo cells who opens it up. Kesnet, though, has managed to rotate across. Heat also getting a pick towards the screens. So 100 Thieves were trying to fight back towards the spawn like Leviathan did against Crew. They run down that clock. 100 Thieves cannot cross that line yet to move inside the A site for a plant. It's Boostio trying to move through, and with this plant, will allow the lockdown to get activated. Molly misses, but a double swing towards the back, and somehow it's turned in favor of Crew. On the lower by Bladestorm out. Kesset's now spotted. Boostio gets the headshot onto him. Swings on a second, 19 HP left, and that's Joy from behind for the execution. The buddy system pays off now for Crew as they all start together to get the last kill and the second round on Icebox.
You're not kidding. Look at the minimap all together as an understatement coming from that side, but they are still able to persevere. Just about how 100 Thieves took the site from the attack side last time. Power in numbers and trusting each other on the trades. It's going to have to come in spades here for both teams. A lot of elevation being played on this one, which is, I think, kept breaking the crosshairs and getting people tripped up. Man, big blade storm coming out by Kesnet there to cause trouble. Remember, that started at B too, right? They were pinging out as well. They saw Melzer, Kesnet over towards B, still go for the A hit again, and the rotation is there. Crew don't let 100 Thieves get that far away. And now Kesnet has the op, so they're going to be right in his sight.
That changes the positioning of the initiators. You see now MTA set up towards Boilers, playing behind here the turret to try to punish and fight. Knife once again was thrown towards the A side, no contact, so that's an early rotate from Crew. 4 players now all the way towards this B site where 100 Thieves, they engage with some utility to start. But it's their turn to pivot back towards the soft side. Good read and good call so far from the IGL of Boostio.
Yeah, it's one of the first times they're doing this flip, right? A lot of it's been the 4-1. Now it's flipped for the 4-1 A to B. Boostio still, I think, just the edge of his turret in mid, obviously, to keep watching, so 100 Thieves can focus on going forward in A. And Crew still playing that buddy system right now. Initiators together to make sure that utility comes in droves when they need it.
So right now, there's a lot of ults available for Crew. Hence why it looks like they want to play the post plan in a retake. But at the same time, the KO knife that was thrown towards B missed Boostio. So there's a window of opportunity for, once again, Boostio to lurk around. And with this pit, though, not allowing 100 Thieves to cross inside this A site, they're going to try to move back in. Probably an execution off the wall, but there's only 22 seconds left. This nanoswarm that's currently posted up, by Shy, do a lot of damage, and it looks like it got used. Dash now activated for Kesnet in the back of the site. Off shot connects to Boostio through the wall, does get the hit. Plant still works out 400 Thieves as the fight goes back towards the B site. Austin looks back under tube, sees another one that's heat to fall. Advantage back now for 100 Thieves. Hunter's Fury available for the pulse plant. But he's actually stuck inside the site. That's EU. Now Asuna just got pinged out. MTA wins that 1v1, and there's that last one to go. Confirming it here. EU tucked in the corner. Melzer moves on! The flicker craft with a headshot on EU! And Melzer gets the round out for Crew. That was insane.
Oh, heavily benefiting from a Phantom in that situation, let me tell you. Getting in there, being able to get the first flick on the run, but then correct it. Holy moly, Melzer on fire right now. 8-4 on the map. Comes up very big here to trade off of MTA at the underneath the tube. And man, that was big. And looking with the way they came in, I thought Boostio was almost going to try to clear that distance to get the ult down right away towards Nest. But he gets taken out by Kesnet. With Boostio going up towards the Nest, maybe that wasn't the play, but man, they got stopped really quick as they thought they had more space in the site. And now very, very aware of what this op can do on the side of Crew. Kaznet is going to get that back as Melzer was able to pick it up at the end of the round. So a timeout will now come in as Zix wants to get in the ear of the squad. It looked good in the beginning. They had good pace setting in the way they're getting into position. And I think they're second guessing how good they're actually positioned, right?
Yeah.
It seems like Boostio could be going forward to take that space, but they are giving Crew the credit they deserve in these situations.
Exactly, and EU not falling back to really try to seal the deal with Hunter's Fury on a 1-versus-1. He stayed tucked in within the site. I mean, at that point, he still had a pretty good angle, and it was a 50-50 chance for Melzer to win that fight. And somehow it was the flick that increased that advantage and gave a chance for Melzer to win it towards the end. So at least it calls out a timeout for 100 Thieves, potentially trying to work around this operator that's now been identified, used by Kesnet on this B site.
All right. I mean, it wouldn't actually be bad if they could get into this round and get a little lockdown game going, because they do have the Hunter's Fury, but they solidify around it, possibly still allows Crew to buy, and they've had to use all their ults just to get through this. It's, oh man. It's a game of when to use the ults. Do they feel like they can just get through this eco with enough damage is the question. Kesnet to push up, they guard the orb on A. And already 100 Thieves, they do try to push forward and see if they can get these Sheriffs to go to work right away.
Much faster pace to start for 100 Thieves. Makes sense with the lore buy that they have, and just trying to make sure that they could waste out this Viper utility very early on the defensive side, which is Melzer. And once they identify that here from Crew and that they don't have that fuel, both playing back now, Melzer and Heat, all the way towards Snowman. They want to use their weapons in the distance in their favor. Against the eco here, the Thieves are waiting for that second cycle, for that second time the orb to go down.
Yeah. And ready to play reactive, right? Has the Dizzy out. If any peek did come through, would help Cryo, but they get into position. Insert one on yellow. Now, spread across the map still. Looks like Boostio was able to dodge out on that dart just from MTA towards the backside of A, but they're already rotating to be there to meet 100 Thieves.
Boostio looks like he's going to fall back and meet up with the rest of his teammates too. But there's the hit inside. Melzer in the back. That's some great shots coming through as there's support there inside this B side. Shy holding it down from the bottom of the tube. There's only Boostio again left alone, but he was so far behind trying to find a pick towards that A side, and it almost feels like that recon art that was thrown forced him to run around and gave his position away. Why he had to fall back.
Yeah, probably up there, maybe dodging the arrow itself, but you still had that push from Kesnet, right? You're right, probably getting that confirmation that somebody was there and just one person, or the fact that the arrow didn't see anybody. In the process of elimination, you're not getting rushed in a certain amount of time, get the rotation in. So honestly, going forward, I want to see some mid play coming out here. I want to see attempt at mid, a little bit of pressure there, so Crew has to worry about it. Because right now, you have this rotation coming in from MTA, Kesnet, and Heat, and Kesnet will stay somewhere. Big Vamo right now. And then Heat and MTA are rotating around again with that utility for initiator, making sure no one's pushing, always having good info. And they're on the right side of the map right now. They're in A. This combo always together. And it doesn't seem like 100 Thieves can get an idea of what that combo is and how to break through it right now. Again, this is just without Boostio towards A. They go back to this garage patient hold. Slowly moving out. They're going to hold on to Wingman this time as they get through. They do have Thrash, 4 ults here to come out. A null command really to only shut that down. Okay.
Way too far to be able to use here. This null command was still towards the A side. So yeah, the lockdown from the Thieves will allow it to open up the B site. And the execution will come in towards the B, but man, the null command would not allow the Viper wall to move up too. Asna's the first to fall. Hunter's Fury on the attack. Heat somehow gets a second one onto Bang. Hunter's Fury finally trades it back onto Melzer. But still 100 Thieves are at a disadvantage. 45 seconds left on the clock. Spike is down out in the open. Finally grouped up, but there's that flank coming out from Kesnet. Misses a couple of shots. EU surviving for a bit and winning that fight. Now the Aldrone, the KO swinging out. They have identification of the last few players of Crew are still towards the back of the site. Walking towards that back. A buddy system is not even there. It's EU going for the hero play. Now Heat. They definitely identified him when he swung out towards the Snowman. He used so low in HP. Recon Art pings him out, 10 seconds left. They have to start committing now, and as he swings out, there's Boostio waiting for him, and finally, 100 Thieves get an answer back since their timeout.
And it's Vance, it's coming from brute force. That's not, usually it's clean, the protocols are hitting, you're like, oh my god, they're still pushing up. But no, 100 Thieves is taking these shots through the smoke, and yeah, you can say, oh, he got it luckily through the smoke, but if you think about it, lockdown went down, Wall was waiting, and Wall goes up. What's the opponent gonna do? Try to run out. So that spam is relatively easy to hit. It seems like these just are slightly half-baked, but great protocols to be running. They just have to realize Crew it feels one step ahead of them almost each time. But 100 Thieves did get that round. We have to remember that. It's just looking a little brute force.
At least it gives a bit of confidence for 100 Thieves. That was a 5 versus 2 that was converted on their side on the attack. All won here by EU and Boostio together.
Now towards A. And they going away from the lurk. Maybe that's what one of the timeout really came to, right? The lurk really hasn't given us the information we want. All 5 members of 100 Thieves together since that comes in, and the power has been working for them. They choose a very soft site here against Crew. Oh my god, they are booking it from B to A too as they realize this could be the play. Looks like we're gonna get an A scuffle.
That's a dash activated. Dizzy hits him in the face and forced the fall back. Couldn't get a kill before he dashed. Now it will be a full team retake. Already Heat answering first onto Boostio. Going towards the back for more sprays. That's Cryo to fall to. Thrash at least available. Pit now locked down and put down by Bang. Thrash now being used to try to support wherever he can. Jumping on the top of 410. It's Kesnet getting the pick off onto Bang, and slowly but surely, Crew are about to close this on a flawless until Asuna finally holds it towards the back, but you definitely see it here. Players sticking on to that spike, and looks like 100 Thieves don't even want to fight it. Until finally Asuna swings out, but it's too little too late. Too many numbers to fight against this time for 100 Thieves, and this time Crew was ready and will not let the advantage fall.
Crew's map movement is nutty right now. Just the things they're considering, the way they're moving, and just off of, I feel like that first bit of information, they're not having to second guess anything. The first time they saw somebody mid, or saw the turret mid, and didn't see anything B, like, oh, that's an A play, easy. It just seems like they are reading everything, and I'm sure Adam's very happy right now to see the sheep have turned into wolves for this game, and they are hungry, looking to try and bring this defensive half back into their favor. On Crew's side, Kesnet, it's another blade storm from him, as they do push B this time.
That knife is going to get so much info. That actually tags 3 players towards the garage, and rendering Wingman too far out to be picked up here by Asuna. And if they delay this well enough, and you can't pick up the Wingman, it's going to be difficult here for 100 Thieves to go for a plant in their eco, especially now that Boostio has just fallen to Heat at middle.
It's a great call. Shy.
This ball flash for him to try to swing out, but he knows better. They knew the rotate was going back towards the A side, and he doesn't want to give up his life or the player advantage for Crew.
And they're already starting to match it, right? Number for number here. It's just going to be Shy. Just bit off to the left side with Viper.
That was ambitious there from Heat.
Yeah.
Walking out, now the up trap.
Ambition continues.
Back and forth. Yeah, it's a dagger fight. Now trying to go for the duck hunt play. No. But the dog is laughing. And the rest of Crew as well, as they shut down the rest of the push of 100 Thieves inside A.
Basically pull and just whip, 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 whip. It happens. It happens in that the instant kind of executes these plays have to happen under. You can see is just sending everybody for a loop. Comms from Kesnet. What they might be able to do next round.
Give me those back.
Another round for Crew. Really good control on these retakes. Their confidence today just seems like something they haven't been able to find really starting the playoffs, and it's good to see from them because they do have a bit of that LCQ remembrance, that spark, a little bit of a playoff form, and yeah, Crew can start to turn it on.
It's always been very wavy, pretty much, right? And a technical pause, unfortunately, not a tactical here at this point. So we'll get to the issue very soon and resolve it. But again, it's been very sporadic in terms of results that we have our Crew so far. Couple of wins in a row that they had on stage 1, and then losing a couple in a row, and then now going into these playoffs. It's not that LCQ form that you were talking about, right? They still had to play and defeat Cloud9
in the upper bracket in that gauntlet, but then lost to Leviathan right after. So it's up and down there. There's no real consistency, but we know that Crew has always been good in the lower bracket run in these type of do or die playoff runs. And all they need now is only that one win. They don't have to go that deep this time around like an LCQ run like they did. This single win against 100 Thieves will allow for them to move to Champions and also allow for them to get another appearance in a row. They haven't missed the champs yet on that side of Crew.
It's crazy to think about. It honestly is. Just waiting to get a quick PC issue resolved on stage. And we'll be right back into the match. Thank you for your patience. And yeah, Crew, I think in those final moments, gain a little bit of power from the unexpected, from people kind of writing them off and not feeling like that's going to be where the power comes from. And Crew kind of uses that to their advantage. And then the hopeful, they bring in all the fans, and then they can bring that power too. And I think it becomes the teamwork that we're seeing from them over and over again, right? It doesn't have to just be Kesnet. It doesn't have to just be Heat in these plays. Everybody starts to step up in the moment, right? We've already seen from Melsner, huge rounds from him. Shy, we know, can just absolutely pop off. So that is the full package in Crew. But it does seem like the team itself ebbs and flows, which is weird to see. Usually you see a few players still being hot. But yeah, they move together in that sense.
When you talk about a PC issue, and we're going to resolve it soon, hopefully it's not a, crowd strike issue. That might take a little bit longer.
Oh my God.
Nonetheless, though, I do agree with you. Looking at the play style that we currently see from these two teams, Crew are doing a very good job sticking as a group. And when we talk about, you've mentioned it, after the timeout, we haven't seen too many lurk opportunities coming out from 100 Thieves or inserting players deep into a different site so that they could pull these rotates. And I think it's just a small miscommunication going into these rounds. Remember that round where Busio was actually moving up here and getting ready to move from L into the A site, and you had 4 players setting up towards B. There wasn't enough utility being thrown on one end to force the rotate to allow Busio to move through. So
they're expecting Crew to kind of bite on everything.
Exactly. So you need a little bit more here from the Thieves. And they've had these type of plays where, you know, when you're trying to pull the first wave of fakes that doesn't play out in your favor, they've always done second waves as fake too and go for these 10-second plans. So something that they're going to have to consider here going back into the game. And again, thank you for your patience. Looks like we are good to go to head back in the server and resume the last round of this half of Icebox.
Let's get to the round so we can go to break.
Yeah.
All right. All right, here we go. Vandals across the board. Looks like they're trying to hit some headshots. Would you figure? 2-1-1 or 3-1-1, a little different here from 100 Thieves. Another push up and a hide by Kesnet. They're trying to bait this out that it's only Melzer. Oh, will they peek him? Oh, they will.
Darts will for sure. Flushing him out, taking him down, and a trade comes out for 100 Thieves. Well done to start. That's B control in their favor, and Busio realizing that he doesn't need to lurk as much because the rest of 100 Thieves are doing their job now towards this B site and winning all of these fights.
Yeah, where the hell was that for the past few rounds? This is what we saw from both of these teams in a lot of their previous games. Those step outs, the just 1v1 clears to open a site and wow the crowd. And now it has to happen again. 2v4 if Crew want the 7-5.
Wingman's planting.
Just everything. Basic high-low with the wingman utility or Gecko utility. And that plant does go down.
Not enough. So this is going to render difficult now for the last 2 players of Crew to retake this site towards B. Both of them grouped up and all spread out. 100 Thieves getting ready for these trades. It's looking pretty good, though, to start for Crew, but then Asuna soups up the last 2 kills. It looked dominant to start as well for 100 Thieves that they had, what, a 5-round lead? But we end this half 6-6.
It did take the timeouts for sure to come in and kind of organize things. A very back and forth first half, and I don't think this is what we expected. I'm very glad this is what we got.
You see it here, 3 players swinging out the fight for that utility to flush out their opponents. So 100 Thieves still having a lot of fight here going into this first half of Icebox. And now we'll switch sides here and resume right after.
You know, it was a close first half here between these two teams, and I got a chance to hear a little bit of the comms. Won't go into any of those strats, but for 100 Thieves, you could definitely feel that there was a little bit of stress in the air, especially later in the half. It went and started getting a little bit hectic in those late round moments, but that's where a guy like EU stepped up. He was a very calm voice for 100 Thieves throughout that half, especially in late round situations, and especially when he was dead. He was coordinating crossfires, what positions his teammates needed to be playing, and kept that pressure on them way down, really salvaging a few rounds for the team. I also want to shout out Asuna. There was a moment in that game where after a tough round, 100 Thieves seemed a little bit scattered, but he came in, gave a big speech to the team, and got them centered going into those last few rounds that they were able to close out. Overall, it didn't seem to me like this was 100 Thieves that was getting out of their seats every round or anything like that. This is 100 Thieves that realizes how much is on the line with this game ahead of them. And locked up even, they're going to need to buckle down even more to close this out for a win.
Thank you so much, Ender. And I kind of like that shout here that Ender was mentioning about Asuna, because remember, this game came out like, what, 4 years ago, and Asuna was able to play for that 100 Thieves banner that allowed for them to win First Strike in 2020. And he was just a young fragger, a rookie going into this game.
Right,
and
he
now,
was the one listening to Hiko and Steel at that point.
Exactly, and now takes the role of that leadership, the roster built around him, and a roster built for championships.
That's growth, absolutely. Player and personal, and it's being huge here for the team as they can pull out those last few rounds to find the 6-6. We're back on Icebox. Crew now on the attack side. Almost looking like we haven't switched as the 4-1 starts off here. And they start to work the map. A little push up though, so they do get the orb denial onto A. 100 Thieves is trying to get some early info in that position.
Definitely feels like I'm casting a scene pistol round. At least this time, though, Asuna is inserted up just around the orb of the A sign, so trying to listen for some information, trying to get a jiggle fight towards that side. Crowd's watching the L1 crew are looking to push and create some sort of pressure towards this sign.
Ooh, good peek.
That was good enough.
Catches an eye. Ooh, the catch the back of his head, too, through the wall.
And also losing a player on the B side, so this is what you wanted to see from the Thieves on the attack side. Push and pull and punishing players on the rotate. Kezit opening up with 2 kills on the B side and also allowing now Crew to have a safe plant.
The essence of the push and pull, right? Everybody rotates off. There's action at A, and that's when B peaks. Kesnet takes full advantage of those little peaks. Huge shots from the Sheriff here. And now 2 ghosts and a classic for injured Asuna.
Kesnet, with that kill, allows for him to get another dash here. We're really not trying to push forward to go for a fight. And there's a little bit of pop shots coming through, but this is looking pretty good for Crew to seal the deal. EU solo gets a big long range, but once again, too many players to deal against, and Crew answer it back with their own pistol in the second half.
Weapon is only a tool.
Very clean start, and already working a bit of the fake on the map too. That's crazy. For Kesnet to be able to pull that out solo insight with a Sheriff is absolutely huge. They already have 100 Thieves on the back foot starting in the second half. Sure, that's not the way they wanted to start, especially since we heard Ender kind of hearing those bit of stressful moments. Everything's going to just add more stress, especially when Kesnet's doing that. All right, second round. Proactive Thieves. It's exactly what you want to see from them here so they don't fall too far behind. Melzer's already going to start toying with mid, just putting that orb up and down to keep somebody watching it. It looks like we'll get a final B plant on this.
Yobi's going to be on point here with the Sheriff because he stands alone with his turret. Timmy has fallen, and now it's only him. A reload, yes, definitely good damage onto both Kezit and Shine. He's trying to hold it down even longer. But with that first pressure that came through, nobody rotated immediately for 100 Thieves. So this still opens up the site, though, for Crew to go for a plant towards B. There's EU close, Shock Dart close. MTA just around the corner, moving up here with Melzer. They take down EU, a double swing towards the top. Now this is a chance. Yes, there is a player advantage for Crew. But Kezin and Shy are still 1 shot away from this Classic and Sheriff available for Cryo and Asuna.
Switch guns, keep the Bogdans going. High, low. Just using Kesnet as a shield right now, kinda.
It's tough.
It's great.
There's a turret, an owl drone, delay enough to get information. Recon Arn still pushes them back, and that potentially could be it right here. The last two players, 100 Thieves, maybe looking for a tap on the spike to flush out some players. And not even an opportunity to die to spike. MTA picks up the 2 kills and builds up the Hunter's Fury at halfway.
Sheriff trading and picking up. We thought this would go towards B, and it was just about really clearing the site and getting in. Nice shot by Crew to do so. They keep quite a few alive. Also keeping these Guardians going for the little bit lower buy, but still having a bonus round gun to go against 100 Thieves with. We did see MTA getting a few there. Still not too close to the ultimate. Kesnet is closest as they break back to this 4-1. Obviously leaving shot here to make sure there's no big push here if they're on orb, which they do, and a quick clear towards Garage, but Cryo.
Exactly. The owl drone got shot, and he's still there and available. Dash still available too. Investing heavily into this operator as the wall comes down. Not hit by the knife, still allowing for him to re-peek if he wants to. And Bang still holds his ground towards his green side. There's that shot. There's that spike down.
Wow.
It was a high risk, high reward here because Cryo went for the glass cannon. 3 players now from Crew trying to answer back. There's that shot. Miss with it! Coming out.
Spike down.
Run on to 2. Spike is down and Kesnet now. He has to play the hero, but he gets dropped by Cryo. And that's 100 Thieves getting their gun round.
That was some disgusting protection for Cryo right there. Bang on VIP protector duty. Perfectly times that push. And Cryo knew it as well. Didn't go for the second peek, just wanted one, and they threw the smokes down to create the chaos. Great job over at A site. And I actually, like you said, high risk, high reward, and it really is high risk. Because if you're peeking that close, you're almost alerting the enemy that someone else is here with me. I'm not just going to jump alone and get taken out because I'm giving away my audio. So Cryo to get that peek, it almost feels too easy for him.
The trust is there. The knife, though. Nobody's shooting at the start. So there you go. Cryo can't not retreat or at all.
Yeah.
But Bucio's still there with Bang. Orb up, now down to push forward. Oh, they did get the ping with the recon dart, but Crew are still better in their duels for this round.
When you see too many options, you just eyes light up and you want to go for all of them. Even the first one's tough. They start to back up. And now it's just going to be this rotation along the map. They're just trying to get both EU and Asuna out of a good position. So Sight is Crew's, and that's what's going to happen. So very quick to always go for this fight towards this side of B. They've been running the 4-1 constantly over and over here for Crew. Even the first few rounds is just consistent on that. And they like the way it starts to spread 100 Thieves here.
Ooh, that's a good shot.
That was cheeky.
That's spiked down. That's an opportunity, especially now that they have the Thrash. Aljon then try to clear out towards the A site.
30 seconds left.
Will get vision and visibility onto 2 players and pinging one, allowing you to swing it on Asuna. Just behind for the trades.
Deja vu, but for 100 Thieves. Now at A site. Oh my gosh. The absolute crossfires and setups to finalize these rounds for 100 Thieves on the last few have been incredible. Right place, right time is the only thing you can say. But yeah, the aim's got to be there too, sure. And yeah, Crew have been doing so much damage at B. It's basically been a game of 100 Thieves trying to figure out how to recuperate and be able to work the rest of the map with then what they have left. We'll see if it happens again. No, it goes towards A. And they're actually going to switch it up a little bit too on the side of 100 Thieves. So they're reading this to now have Cryo on the right side.
Another 2vx1 here by 100 Thieves.
Yeah,
the first one a 2v5, this time a 2v4. And it started off with a shock dart. And again, thankfully you have the Thrash out there for Asuna to allow a third body to help out 100 Thieves to convert that round in. Just that win takes the win out of the sails of Crew of how they started off here on their attack side and also forcing them into a lower buy.
Let's get a quick pause on. We will alert you of what it is as we watch a little parkour here for a moment. Yeah, that's the kind of 100 Thieves I think people thought we would see throughout the entirety of it.
Yeah.
Of playoffs, of what their trajectory is right now towards the end of this split or stage, and seeing actually how much they couldn't perform, how much they almost look lost in their last match. This is life put back into them, I think.
Life goes back here into the round. As it was a quick audio pause now fixed up, and Crew looking to push very quickly towards this A side with the Blade Storm from Kesnet, dropped and denied immediately by Asuna.
Slow. Drone obviously going to temper things just a little bit, and already a big push here by Bang. If they can hold Crew here, this is going to be big.
And they're definitely doing so. Weapons are too good. Yes, labored for a couple of shots at the beginning, but in the end, a sealed deal and a flawless for 100 Thieves to continue to build the economy.
Definitely held Crew there. Like you said, flawless. And this is going to start feeling very comfortable for 100 Thieves. The economy means that with the momentum they have, the confidence in the fights they've been taking, maybe they take some extra fights, maybe they go a little crazy here and put somebody outside the box. Great stop up here, and that is going to force the hand of Crew to hit the big red button.
Good tag, by the way, on him. I killed him. There's me a Crew tag.
Pause for the cause as they get a few words of wisdom here to the side of Crew.
Yeah, seems to be playing so far here the story for Crew. In these scenarios where they always have this player advantage, I mean, they had a lot of occasions around them, and almost half of them was lost here against the Thieves. So 100 Thieves, I mean, they're able to pull out a lot of fight through, again, the leadership and the vibes. Apparently, that Asuna has been telling on to the team to make sure that they don't falter against the pressure that's coming up from Crew Visa's side.
Friendly fire.
Recalling my bot.
Oh.
Yeah, change too. A little bit of a cycle for the Outlaw, potentially to solo up towards the B side.
All right. Dueling Hunter's Fury, a possibility here on this round. I mean, really not too much of a low buy, just that Outlaw floating around here. Unfortunately, Heat's the only one that would find an instant death from that in 100 Thieves' mind, so let's see how they avoid it or take a fight to it. They are very, very big on making sure nobody has this area. Obviously free orb, but knowing nobody is B long just allows you to focus on that mid kitchen.
That's huge though. Hunter's Fury coming out from Boiler all the way towards main. A ping onto one player, that's MTA. Orb now picked up, null command available. This is a dangerous pivot back towards A side though, because Gucio's posted up rather with the Outlaw.
Skirting around. That orb is deep. Like we said, it had to be Heat, right? He's the only one with the low armor, and it wasn't a headshot. So now Null Command's gonna have so much more priority and agency over A site, being a little tighter here. Nobody can hide in the back like you could in B, and there it is.
At least there's a contact onto Kesnet with that Outlaw, so he's down to 10 HP. Him dashing across is not gonna be as effective. He needs more utility to help with, and as soon as they cross the line, over the wall, Krell drops Heat. Now they're trying to reset. Asuna winning that fight against Melzer. And as they try to cross over to get the res up there onto the KO, Ricardo swings out to simultaneously drop Crew and give the lead for 100 Thieves by 2.
Damn, what a read by 100 Thieves. Not even being affected by the null command, really, because it's not going to affect your aim, and that's all 100 Thieves needed to do when they found the open shots. And that was a big one. The crowd is going right now for Cryo. And yeah, putting up some big, big frags here. And look at that. Let's go. Not really surprised, but they're like, all right, yeah, that was clean. You can see it on their faces. They're liking the way the game is going right now. 100 Thieves are. Quick 0 point out the pipes, and we get a little more pace here out of Crew now. Quick drone into sight. Everything's been starting at B here, but they get right to the front door of A and start it off.
They're hoping to just get picks out of this. There's still so many players that were lurking around towards middle and B side for Crew. No opportunities to get the pick behind the owl drone on the attack side of Crew, and they're going to have to reset. And yeah, you're seeing the calls coming out here from 100 Thieves, where you see on the player cams these rounds that they get. They're very vocal about them, but this was never going to be an easy game for 100 Thieves against Crew. This was mentioned now in these post-game interviews from the Thieves sides.
That's kind of what Shy wanted. Wanted to be seen just a second. Actually gets the Thrash ultimate. That's obviously going to check, but they're still ready.
So is Crew. Lots of bodies out on that side, and that's Cryo, though. Outlaw going to work. Now with the Blade Storm right on to Kesset, not given a chance now for Shy to get anything done, even not a chance to set up. Cryo's starting to feel it in the last few rounds.
Wild Cryo. The Blade Storm sitting down 4 members of Crew Visa. And Adam's gonna call a timeout after that one. They need to get some of these last rounds. Oh.
One enemy remaining.
It was almost important that they win last round and had the Outlaw still, because then it paid off even more. That's a real return on investment when you go for the long haul on it. All right, so Crew calls the timeout. They need to keep 100 Thieves off game point right now, and they have 3 ultimates to possibly do it. The Viper's Pit, they have a lockdown, and they have a Hunter's Fury. And none of this can be easily traded by the side of 100 Thieves, so we have to assume, right, this is going to be a Crew round.
Yeah.
How are they going to do it? A lot of B pressure just to start off and get the space at B. Well, we've seen a little bit of a lurk from Shy towards A. Same 4-1 split from A to B. Like, is it going to be new? Is it going to be different? Do they feel comfortable just doing these strategies? Because both teams have basically avoided mid this entire map. It's been crazy. All right.
And I was looking at that mini-map. It looked like at some point they were trying to take that mid control, because this pit could be very important.
Yeah.
Pit to control, a long pit towards the air, trying to get a plan, leverage these ults to salvage a round and give a chance for Crew to continue to fight against 100 Thieves on Thieves' map pick.
All right. Knife out. Quick check. Yeah, just bang. So they actually have to consider, do we have a Jet here to worry about? They still want the space, though, and they give it to Kesnet.
They'll have Nano utility to deal with, don't want to side our Crew. And there goes Kesnet pushing forward, and bang, does win that fight. And that spike once again, dropped meanwhile by Heat, just at the entrance of the B site. Delays being pulled out from the Poison Orb up on the side of the Thieves. Not given a chance for Crew to salvage a spike and fall back. So they're pretty much pinned. They have no choice but to fight. Orb now up. It isolates a couple of players. The one that was inside the smoke couldn't help out. That's Melzer on the top as his teammates fall by the hands once again of the defense of the Thieves.
High, low, and distant. Impossible.
Boy with them, yeah. What can you really do at this point?
Nothing. Nah, you can save.
We'll see.
Nope. Thought for a moment Melzer was like, oh, okay, yeah, we're good. Nope. Nope. Cryo gets it. 12-8 for 100 Thieves. And that was not around it. They could get the ults used on. They felt comfortable doing it.
They wanted to.
They wanted to. But we didn't see any coming out of Crew. And the finisher.
They definitely wanted to as well, because look at this buy right now that's coming out from Crew. 4 Guardians, 1 Vandal, 4 away from the Blade Storms. Nothing to really help here. And that's
so neat that they actually have an Outlaw on this round 2, and Bang's gonna meet everybody with low armor first. He could just wreak havoc, trying to hide.
Look at this early rotate. You already see EU. Looks like he was heading towards Boiler to try to do the same, to try to fight here and try to cut the rotate, but instead decides to fall back within the A site where Cryo is posted up, the same position as before. That was not noted by Crew because they had no pressure in position on that side. It's an Outlaw and an Operator set up on the A site.
You're about to get a defensive dart coming back up too, so they should be able to do another read here towards A. We're gonna go ahead and get a knife out real quick as that pushes Cryo back.
And it was a little bait. Get hit by the knife so that somebody could swing towards L, but no contact with the Outlaw. Falling back now, picking up a rifle. Lockdown being used on the attack, and Kraus, he just wants to stay inside the site.
Yep.
Doesn't even care if he's gonna get detained. Just to allow here to Thieves to get the first blood. Hit now coming out on the attack to block off the screens. Here's the attempt now for 100 Thieves to come back and retake the site, all of them towards heaven. Only a wingman available, no other flashes to support. And now they have to just move in as a group, drop it towards the ground, headshot MTA. Spike has just been planted by crew, but you do have other things moving in. Boost you with another one towards the dice. Now hiding inside the pit. The 3 players are holding back here. The 2 players are holding back. The Mouse are in heat, right inside that pit.
With Guardians to push that fight, and EU was giving Heat such a hell of a time planting. You may see Heat underneath that heaven drop. Like, why aren't you planting? He got knocked down to 35 health before seeing anybody, and he thought he was getting shock darted. So crew was also sent into chaos because they couldn't plant the spike, but still managed the situation so well throughout the pit. Man, pulling it out when they really needed to. Backs against the wall, game point on the line. Crew stay alive. 100 Thieves are going to start pushing back harder, though, I think. Already up to B here with the operator out.
This has been a play that's been used before here by 100 Thieves, but it's a jump spot denied by Cryo.
That was a, if you think about it, Cryo was deep on that angle. Usually it's just a sliver that has allowed Kesnet to do that same jump earlier on Cryo. But no, he got a little deeper with the help there of Boostio, or I'm sorry, of Bang.
EU, he was looking to be under attack there, but Asuna's there for the save. Up towards the A tower. 2-player advantage now for 100 Thieves. A different story than that previous round, and they also have ults in their favor now. So Boostio is going to put this up, force them back towards Bang on that flank. It's about to get swung out by 3 players. He gets 1 for it, and Cryo holding with the up. There's that crossover, and they're like, yeah, I think there's going to be an up there. Let's go back towards the A site where there's 3 players of 100 Thieves. And as they go for the high-low, there's the last 2 picks. 100 Thieves clean in this last round as they defeat now Crew on the first map of Icebox.
Defensive side, locking it up here for 100 Thieves for sure. The protocols between Boostio and Bang, and Cryo and Bang on B as well. And then over towards the other side, having Asuna crush Cryo in the last few rounds, come up with that operator and the Blade Storms. What do you do when 100 Thieves surges like that? You almost can't do anything, Van Silly.
The only thing you get to do right now is hopefully reset here and bring it over to the next side of Lotus, where they actually look pretty good against Cloud9, look good in the past of the season, and hopefully you can push this onto Ascent.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through Attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you wings.